Hello and welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thank you for joining us on this wet and windy Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday morning, depending on where you are. And I tell you what, it is a brilliant day. If you join us on Wake Up Call a little bit earlier on, you will know what we've got up our sleeves for the rest of the day. One thing which we did talk about, which we need to mention before we crack on with launch day, is the fact that today is our 7th day of Craftmas, not to be confused with the 12 days of Christmas. Here with our 12 days of Craftmas, each and every day we are bringing you a little deal sweetener, maybe some free gifts, maybe for example we'll give you some extra discount. Today's is an unbelievable deal just for today only, up until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning here in the UK, 3 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to give you triple points on everything, triple points on all purchases. So really the deals that you're going to see today, not only on the new launches but potentially on items that you have seen before, you know, really great deals, because you won't have seen them with triple points previously. So it's a great day to be shopping, great day to be stocking up on all of those craft room essentials, so do not miss out. Brand new launch day that you can see to my right hand side gleaming away is the brand new creative collection from Spectrum Noir. We previewed this morning and already over 10% of the stock has gone. If you're looking for a perfect Christmas gift this year for someone perhaps who wants to get into their colouring, maybe you yourself are fairly new to us here at Crafters TV, and you've been looking at a Spectrum Noir range and you don't kind of know where to start. You know, all of the different pens, you're thinking, which one should I go for? This is a great little, you know, there's like selection boxes that you get at Christmas with all the different chocolate bars in. This is like a giant size selection box, but jam-packed full of Spectrum Noir goodies. 42 markers, 14 colouring pages, $89.99 is the price on this today, or $129.95. That's your free shipping. However, if you're a platinum member, you can take another 20% off, which is unbelievable when you get to see what you're going to get within this collection. £71.99 or $103.96 if you're shopping in the US. But let's talk about that at the bottom of the screen as well. Triple points. So you're talking great deal, just today only. So, you know, if we have stock of this available tomorrow, yeah, amazing. But you won't get triple points tomorrow. So that's what, 210 points? In the US, what's that? 309. Seriously, that's like moving you up another level almost, isn't it? There's plenty of reasons to jump in and buy this morning, this afternoon. Now, I'm uber excited about this collection. I am also uber excited to say that we have got a special guest in the studio. Oh yes. And for those of you like me who were thinking, is it Father Christmas? It is not Father Christmas, but it's someone better than Father, well, maybe on a par with Father Christmas, a lady who normally day to day is responsible for helping to put these shows together, okay? But a little birdie kind of told us that she's a bit of a dab hand with the old crafting, and particularly good with our Spectrum Noir products. So I'm delighted to introduce you to the lovely Lily Fletcher. How are you?
I am so excited to be here. To be able to be here for this launch is just so exciting. I think you're all going to love this at home. It's a brilliant collection, so super excited. I mean, I might not be Father Christmas, but... Well,
listen, as I say, I mean, on a par with, and actually bringing all the excitement, bringing all the enthusiasm, and bringing a great deal with this collection as well. I know we're going to dive into this in more detail, but for people obviously meeting you for the first time, just quickly tell us about like your love of craft, and particularly, like, you love your colouring, don't you?
Yeah, so I've been crafting for quite a number of years now, sort of for as long as I could hold a paintbrush or a pencil. All sorts, paper crafting, stamping, die cutting, but for me my first love was always colouring.
Yeah.
I started off with the Spectrum Noir range probably about 8 to 10 years ago, really from sort of the beginning of when Crafters Companion started bringing out Spectrum Noir. From that word go, from that first brush stroke, I was sort of hooked. So to be here, standing here today, bringing you this new collection is just super exciting. For me, colouring is just one of the most exciting things you can do. I just love it.
And is there like a particular style of thing that you like to colour? I mean, do you kind of like to do sort of colour animals or like sort of fantasy pictures? What's your kind of go-to?
I mean, like a typical crafter, I sort of experiment with everything. You want to try everything. You want to own every single stamp that's ever been released. But butterflies and flowers, classic. You can't go wrong, can you? Any occasion. And we've actually got some gorgeous butterflies and flower stamps on the show, as well as what you get in the box. So.
And one final question for me before we get into the box. I'm just like trying to set the scene so we can all kind of meet Lily. Is there a particular range of Spectrum Noir pens or markers that are your go-to, that you kind of have at the top of the chart?
For me, the first range that I tried was always the classics. So they're always going to sort of hold a dear place in my heart, if you like. So for me, classics are my favourite, but it's almost like asking you to choose your favourite child, isn't it? So I love the whole range. So yeah, don't make me choose. I say classics, well, all of them, everything in the box, everything in the range.
It's a great answer. Well, so we delve in and have a look through this. Lots of chat already coming through. Hi to Sue is in from London, Fran's in from Maryland, Patty from Michigan, Mary from Maine, Astrid says good afternoon. Hi Astrid, lovely to have you with us. Betsy's in from Texas. Astrid also saying hi there Lily, great to see you, and also Lily is very talented.
Oh,
it's nice.
Oh, thank you ever so much. That's lovely.
If you want to welcome Lily, by the way, do get those messages in. And also, if you've got any questions, anything that you want to ask Lily, about her crafting, about this collection, she's basically said nothing is off the table. So anything that keep it crafty related.
Okay, anything at all.
Anything at all. But get the questions in, all make it nice and interactive. Let's unbox then, Lily, and take us through what we are going to get in this massive 57-piece collection.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. First of all, it's huge.
It is massive.
I mean, I'm not being funny. It's about as big as I am. I mean, the first time in the office we actually got a sample of this through, we couldn't believe how big it was. I mean, if you're getting this as a gift, can you imagine this wrapped under the Christmas tree?
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but you're going to have the biggest and best present, aren't you?
It's the one you'll save till the end, isn't it?
Absolutely. This is the last present, and you're going to be saving the best till last. Now, I mean, me and our Michelle were talking about this earlier. She brought you wake-up call today and gave you a little sneaky peek of the box. Something we both said, it seems really daft, but I think you'll probably agree at home. It's got this magnetic clasp, and when you open it, it's really satisfying.
It is nice.
It's just such a well put together box. It's absolutely gorgeous, and like I say, if it is going to be a gift, it's absolutely perfect because it's presented so beautifully. Can you imagine that in your craft room? Pride of place on your shelves.
Absolutely.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. Right, so if we actually open the box, this is the super exciting bit. You do need a fanfare, don't you?
Absolutely, that's why I gave you one.
Yeah, it was needed. So when you all get this home and you open it up at home, just have your own little fanfare.
Yes.
As you open it, and you can see absolutely everything within the box has got its own place. So you know exactly where everything goes.
Yeah.
You know if something's missing, you know where it needs to go back. So it's absolutely brilliant. It's so well presented. So what have we actually got in the box? Well, it's sort of like a great introduction to Spectrum Noir. Perhaps you've never tried Spectrum Noir at all before. Perhaps you've tried some of the ranges, like I first tried Classiques, like I was saying earlier. Perhaps you've tried Classiques, but you want to try more of the Spectrum range, but you're not quite sure where to start. Perhaps you don't want to commit to a big bundle of lots of pens, and you just want to try stuff out. This is going to be absolutely perfect. So shall we start with the aqua pens?
Absolutely, yes. So 10 of those, isn't there?
Absolutely, yeah. And these are dual-ended. So you get a range of different colours. So we've not given you sort of colours that we don't think you're going to particularly use, or colours that are perhaps a little bit niche and only if you like colouring a certain type of image. We've given you a really broad range of lovely bright colours. And like I say, they are dual-ended. So you've got your beautiful quality brush nib on one end, and on your other end you've got a really fine bullet nib, and that's going to be perfect for getting into all your fine detail on your stamped images. So shall we have a little colour, just colour them out. So what I've got here is I've got a bit of watercolour card. Now I know we have got this on today's show, so if you do need to stock up, then that's going to be absolutely perfect for you. So taking the brush nib, I must say I love brush nib. These are so soft and smooth, and they're just really easy to colour with. So you can see we get a really smooth lay down of colour. But the really exciting thing, and the thing that's brilliant about aqua pens, and sort of what the name suggests, I guess, is that we can actually blend them out with water.
Yes.
So all I've got is a normal paintbrush here, a little bit of water onto there, and we can actually blend this out using our water.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really important that we work onto our watercolour paper, just so that we can blend it out and we don't get any pilling of our paper.
Fab.
So you might be thinking that you get 10 different aqua pens, but really you get sort of lots
Because you get all of the different blends of colour.
Yeah, if you think how many different colours you can get just from one pen, just by blending it out, it's sort of like, you can't really put a number on it, can you?
Can't calculate it. No, absolutely right.
Well, I wouldn't like to. I'm not sure about you.
No. If there's anything to do with numbers and calculations, not for me.
I mean, there's probably some sort of formula, isn't there? But no, should we stick to the crafting? It's a lot.
Johnny's usually the one who gets the abacus out when it comes to maths. We'll leave him to ponder that one.
Yeah, you can work that out. But we talk about 10 aqua pens in a range of colours, but just think when you start diluting these down, you've got so much more. And something else we'll come to later in the box. These are obviously matte, but we can actually make them sparkly, but we'll come to that bit later.
Just to say as well, so the 10 colours that you will get: crimson, jasmine, meadow, your verdant green, lake blue, aquamarine, purple, heather, tulip and rose pink in the aquas. But, you know, as Lily's already talked about, the fact that you can, you know, use these with your water, blend with these. There's so many different hues that you've got within each of those colours as well, which, well, you try and do the calculation on that. We are approaching a fifth of the stock of these already gone. Loads of you already chatting, saying that you have got them or you're going to get them. Pammy just saying, I didn't really need any new pens, but I'm addicted, so I bought them last night. Lots of welcomes coming through. Cara saying, welcome Lily, great to have new ideas about colouring. My favourite are try blends. Phyllis saying, welcome Lily, you are absolutely delightful.
Oh, thank you ever so much. That's lovely.
And Leslie just saying, wow, enough said. You've only seen a small snapshot of what you're getting in the box, just the one pen from the one collection. What else have we got?
I know, it's like, you want to take your time going through it all. It's like unwrapping everything, but this is what you're going to be like when you get this at home. You're going to take your time, you're going to sit down, you're going to go through the box, and it's like a journey going through every single pen. But I'm actually holding a little bit back. There's something under the pens that we'll look at a little bit later.
Ooh, all right.
I know, it gets even more exciting. Right, we're going to go next to our glitter markers.
Okay.
These are absolutely fabulous, super sparkly. You can't beat a bit of glitter and sparkle, can you?
Especially this time of the year.
Yeah, but I mean, glitter's for all year round. It's not just for Christmas, but for Christmas, it is perfect. So we can see we've got a lovely bullet nib on there. So it goes to quite a fine point, so we can get good detail with these glitter markers. So they're perfect if we want to be doing our lettering. Perhaps you like a little bit of calligraphy sort of style. You can absolutely do that with these. But can you see the glitter we get in there? It gives such a gorgeous, special touch.
Yes.
But can you see that I'm working onto watercolour card? You might be wondering why. Well, these are actually water-based. So if I scribble a little bit down, take my paintbrush with a bit of water. Now I am using a paintbrush and water, but if you're more comfortable with using a water brush, so that the brush actually controls the water that's coming through the brush, then absolutely that'll work fine too. I just prefer to use a paintbrush. But look, we can actually blend that out. So again, we're saying, is it 10 colours of these that we're getting?
You have got 8.
8.
8 of these, yeah.
So we're saying you get 8 colours, but once again, you're not. We're going to have to get that formula back out. I hope Johnny in our ears is calculating.
By the end of the show, we'll have some sort of complicated formula worked out. He's like Einstein in there.
Yeah, he's there tippy-tapping. He's getting all the formulas, but 8 pens, we can throw that out the window, quite frankly. We've got so many different
as well
colours.
to see you like using your paintbrush with the water on the glitter pens as well, because I always have in my mind that those are, you know, you would just use those, well, just literally for writing with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't realise until the other day that you could do that, because I was reading through all the pens, and you do get a little booklet, little leaflet in here explaining all the pens, and I noticed it said they were water-based, and I thought, well, that means I can blend them out with water, and absolutely you can. So don't just think about using them as they are, think about watering them down. It just gives you so many more options, which is fantastic. Brilliant for all your shading.
Yeah, and the glitter pens again, so as Lily's touched on, 8 colours you're going to get. So you've got fiery red, neon orange, neon violet, neon pink. You've got jade aqua, frozen lake, cool blue, and your midnight frost. Lots of love coming in, as I said. And again, Kim, just touching on, of course, with the aquas, yes, you've got all of the different blends within the one pen, but then, of course, you've got the blends by blending different colours together with the aquas, haven't you?
Of course, absolutely. So it's not just blending out the one pen, it's mixing and matching. So goodness, we've got even more options. It's getting a little bit exhausting when you start thinking about it. It makes your head go a bit mad. But yeah, lots and lots of different options. So many possibilities just with the aqua pens, which is brilliant. Should we go on to the next one?
Where are you going next?
Should we go to the metallics? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Why not, eh? So should we go for this nice purple one? Crafter's Companion Purple, it's got to be done, doesn't it? So again, these are dual tipped. So you've got a really, really nice fine nib on one. So if you want to be doing your lettering, perhaps, I'm just thinking, you know, when you're writing all your Christmas cards, your Christmas tags, if you want to have the best wrap presents with the best gift tags, write them with your metallic markers, because it's going to look absolutely super, super special. So perfect for all your brush lettering, your handwriting, all sorts of stuff like that. And then on your other end, it's a little bit thicker. A really nice brush nib on there, so it's really smooth, quite flexible. You can see you can get really, really gorgeous lay down of colour really quite easily. But once again, can you see I'm working onto the watercolour paper? So if we scribble a little bit of the colour down, and then once again I'm getting my paintbrush. Now it's a little bit pink, so I'm just going to blend that out, just clean it a little bit. And then we can actually blend that colour out once again.
Wow, here we go.
So can you see we're getting so many different shades? You've got that gorgeous ombre from the really intense, really metallic purple all the way down, and we can fade it out. So it's basically just water at the end. So again, extending the possibilities, which is fabulous.
And of course, using them like this, I mean, you get so many pens within the set anyway, Lily, don't you? But using the using these as you're using them extends the life of the pen as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, because you're only using a tiny little bit of ink to lay down the colour, and then you're actually watering a lot of it out. But because they're so richly pigmented, it means you only need a little bit of the colour and a lot of the water, and the colour will really, really travel, which is another thing that's testament to the quality of the pens. If they were not very well pigmented, you'd have to lay down a lot of the colour and you wouldn't be able to blend it out very far. But because we can blend it out so far, because they are so well pigmented, you get those fantastic results.
Colours there you're going to get are your gold plate, you've got your silver ingot, antique bronze, pewter, red garnet, jade green, blue topaz, and your amethyst. So 8 of those included. Remember, you got them double-ended. Loads of lovely comments coming through. Patty says this is a great set for a new crafter. Absolutely it is. This is the whole thing. And Marsha saying, ooh, 3 emojis with the heart eyes. I need this set. 5 purple hearts. Yeah, perfect for a new crafter, perfect for someone who's just getting into their colouring, because as you're discovering, you're getting, well, I say a little bit of everything, you're getting a lot of everything within this box. So we've had a look at about half of it so far. What are we going on to next?
Shall we go on to classiques next?
Let's do it.
So these were my first foray into Spectrum Noir. I have to say, yes, I do have all the colours at home, but as this box is still absolutely fantastic for somebody like me. Even if you do have a few of the colours already, you get to try a lot of the different Spectrum Noir ranges, so it's still absolutely brilliant. Well, like we say, for beginners, like Ben was saying, perhaps you are already a crafter, but you've not done a lot of colouring, then this is going to be absolutely perfect. Perhaps you're into your die cutting and you're thinking, do you know what, this colouring looks pretty good. I think I want to go at that. Then this is going to be absolutely brilliant. So let's go for our classics, and I've chosen a couple here. Of course I've gone for pinks, I do love my pinks. But what we get with our classics is they are dual ended. So on one end we've got a broad chisel nib, and there's actually lots of different techniques we can do with our chisel nib, and it's perfect if we are colouring in perhaps our pearls, because don't forget, with these being alcohol based markers, they're going to go onto both porous and non-porous surfaces, so you can actually colour coordinate all of your gems, your ribbons, all your buttons to match your finished projects. So they're absolutely brilliant. So don't just think about colouring in your stamped images, think of all the other uses outside of that as well that we could get with these alcohol-based pens. So that is our chisel nib. And then on the other end, perhaps the nib that I use the most when I come to colouring in my stamped images, we've got a really, really fine bullet nib. This allows us to get a lot of detail. Can we see how fine that point is onto there? It's absolutely brilliant. So now I'm working onto Nina card. And that's something to know. I've been working on watercolour card up to this point, so we've been using water-based mediums, but when we're using our alcohol pens, we want something that's really nice and smooth and is going to allow us to blend that colour. It's not going to suck too much of the colour in so that we can't blend it. It's just going to allow it to stay wet for long enough that we can get that really lovely seamless blend, which is absolutely what we can get with these pens because they are fabulous quality. So if we just lay down a little bit of colour onto there, you can see what gorgeous colour that is, that pink. You can see that it lays down really, really smoothly. And can we see how fine that bullet nib is? We can get into all the fine details that we might have in our stamped images. We can be doing pointillism effects. There's so many things you can do with your alcohol pen colouring. And I'll just show you the chisel nib as well. So if you are wanting to lay down a lot of colour really, really quickly, perhaps when you're laying down your lightest colour, your base coat to start with, that broad chisel nib is going to be absolutely brilliant for that. So classiques, so much you can do. They are alcohol based, so definitely recommend getting your Nina card. We do have some of that on the show if you're needing to stock up, but classiques, absolutely brilliant.
And again, 10 of those you're going to get included in the collection. The 10 colours, you've got a poppy, satsuma, your dandelion and leaf green. You've got your marine blue turquoise, your true blue, purple, pink violet and begonia. And at this point you're thinking they must have gone through everything, all the pens that we've got in this colour creations kit. That must be it, but it's not, because there's even more in here. Getting really busy for this. Lots of you seeing the value for money in this collection. Lots of you I know going, I'm going to get this for a friend, I'm going to get this for a family member, I'm going to get this maybe for the kids. This is a great gift. Like if your kids are showing that interest in getting into colouring, getting into crafting, and they're forever coming and like borrowing, you know, your pens from your craft room, this is the collection to give to them and go, there you go, there's your collection, go and take it, have fun with that. And again, great for the fact that they can try out all of these different colouring mediums. Now, by my notes, I think now, are we going to have a look at some sparkle?
Shall we?
Let's do it.
I've been holding this back a little bit. This is super exciting. As I've mentioned earlier, I love a little bit of glitter and sparkle, so this is brilliant. We get 3 of these, and I must say, definitely for me, these are the most useful colours that we've got in our whole sparkle pens range. So I'm going to take the silver one to start with. And what you need to know is when you get these home, you actually need to prime them to start with. So I'm struggling to get this out of the box today. I don't know what.
Oh, did and?
Yeah, I'm all fingers and thumbs. Right, here we are. Got it. It's out. So I've gone for the silver. And what you'll notice is once you get these home, they've got a little green belt sort of thing on there.
Yes.
All you need to do, and that's just basically for when they're being transported to you, just to make sure they don't leak or anything like that, because we don't want that. All you need to do is just take that off. You can just pop that in the bin, you don't need that anymore. Screw your lid back on, and then that's going to pierce the barrel, so it's going to allow that ink to actually flood through onto our brush nib. And don't worry if you forget this, there's actually a little leaflet in there which is going to explain it, so don't worry. We're not just giving you the pens and saying, do you know what, go away and use them and work it out for yourself.
There's the pens, now go away.
See ya. You've got your pens, that's it. Absolutely not. There's so much education with Spectrum Noir. I mean, Leanne has brought you this range for years and years and years. There's so many videos. We have our Colour Me Happy shows, so your hand's going to be held every single step of the way. So please don't worry about getting it home and thinking, gosh, I was so inspired at the time, but now I've forgotten what I'm going to do with this. How does this work? Don't worry about that at all. There's so much support there. But anyway, back to the sparkle pens. So you can just give them a gentle shake just to start with. Just be careful. I've ended up with ink everywhere at times. Part of the fun, isn't it? And then just give it, you can see it says push on the side. Just give it a
little squeeze.
Little squeeze. Don't go too heavy-handed.
Oh, okay.
I have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can you see,
you see it come down then?
It starts to come down. At that point, don't go too crazy. because I did that and I thought, oh, the ink's coming out, brilliant, squeeze really hard, and then I ended up with ink all over my desk.
All over the place.
Yeah, yeah, we don't want that. And then you'll see it'll start to come into the brush. Can you see it start to drip down? So that is our colour, and look how sparkly that is.
Yes.
That reminds me of like something you see in the solar system. I don't know about you, but
Something you see where?
in the solar system, like planets and looking up into the sky.
Yeah.
So that is, that colour is absolutely gorgeous. I feel like I could sit and watch that all day long. But what you can do, once again, because of course these are water-based, really exciting bit is we can take our paintbrush and we can actually water them down. So perhaps that colour's a little bit dark for your specific project that you're working on. You can very easily just dilute that down and blend it out. And because they are absolutely packed full of glitter, it means that even when you're blending them out with water, you're still going to get a lot of the glittery effect in there. Of course, it's not going to be quite as intense, but it's still really, really glittery and sparkly, which is fantastic. But I did say we had 3.
We do.
You do have 3. So you have your gold, you have your silver. I'm sure they've got lovely names that you can tell us
Sterling
about.
silver.
Ooh.
Spun gold.
Ooh. I knew they'd be a lot nicer than gold and silver, but
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And this one is your crystal clear.
Crystal clear. I always just call it clear, but no, crystal
No, it's got to be
clear.
crystal.
So it's lovely. It's a lovely clear overlay, and you can be using that over the top of any of your mediums. So perhaps you've coloured in an image using classiques, then because those are alcohol based, it's sort of the opposite. So if you add that over the top, it's not going to disturb the colour that you've got underneath. So you can add a glittery coat to any of your coloured images. Get my teeth in at some point today.
It's all right.
But what we can do you remember earlier when we were looking at the aqua pens, we actually blended it out with water?
Yeah.
And I did mention, what if we want these to be glittery? Well, what we can do is we can scribble out our colour. I'm just working onto watercolour card like we were earlier. And then we can actually take our crystal clear. I nearly called it the clear overlay then, but I thought Ben will tell me off.
Exactly, get the name right, come on.
Get the name right, come on
Crystal
Lily,
clear.
come on. And then we can actually use our crystal clear like we would a water brush and blend that colour out. So instead of using water and just blending the colour out and getting the ombre, we get a glittery ombre, which is absolutely fabulous.
And that then doesn't contaminate the end of your brush on your...
No, not at all. All you need to do is just scribble until it goes clear. And once it's clear, that's it. You reset. So don't worry about damaging your nibs or anything. It just cleans itself really quite easily. And you can see that we've turned our aqua pen into a glitter aqua pen. So we talked about all the colours we've got of aqua pens. We talked about all the ombres we've got. Now we're talking about all the glittery ombres we've got. It's getting ridiculous, isn't it, this box? 42 pens. We've blown that away, haven't we?
We're not even
Forget it.
Not even finished yet, because there's even more to show you. What I love about this, there's more pens to show you. And also, by the way, a fifth of the stock has now gone. And this collection, it's like one of those, you know, those really expensive boxes of chocolates where you'll have like, you have your top layer, won't you? And then when you finish them, then you lift the lid up, the tray out, and there's more underneath.
Oh, that's the best surprise ever.
Yeah.
When you think you've finished and,
yeah. Well, that's what this box is.
This is what it's like.
There's more underneath. We're coming to that. Just to say, a few of you asking about the colours within this collection. If you've got your classiques, if you've got things like your aqua pens, you may well get duplicates. But the point is here, this is just a lovely selection of a few of the colours from our classiques, from our aquas, from all of these different ranges, bundled together in this amazing kit. So yeah, if you've got certain colours of certain collections, you know, as we're reading these out, you might think, well, I've already got that one. But it's a great way to get in new colours. It's a great way to try new pens from different ranges. And actually, even if you do end up duplicating, isn't it nice to, you know, if you've got a pen that eventually does run out, to have another one right there that you can get using straight away. Lots of you as well chatting about Lily. Lovely comments coming through, which we'll mention in just a few moments' time. But let's have a look at these, well, the art liners we've still got to look at, haven't we?
Yes.
We're not even into the bottom bit yet.
Yeah, so that's the last of this layer.
Yes.
But we get 3 of these, and they're all different nib widths. So these are, 2 of them are fine liner pens, and 1 of them is a brush pen. So let's look at the brush. So if you are into your brush lettering, this is an absolute must-have. So they're all black and they're absolutely gorgeous quality. Look how smooth that lay down of colour is. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I'm not into my brush lettering.
Oh, I thought you were about to start going for...
I can pretend I am. Yes, I'm starting. It's one of those things that's on my list, on my crafty list to try. So watch this space with my outliners. I think I'll be well away. But you can see it's so easy to use. So if you are into your brush lettering, you're going to have an absolute whale of a time using these pens. So that's your brush art liner. And then we've got our 2 fine liners. Now I have to say I absolutely love a fine liner. Something I really love doing when I'm creating my cards is adding a little bit of faux stitching. And these are perfect for that. And you've got a 0.3 and a 0.5. So depending on the thickness you're wanting of your line, you've got the 2 different options there, which is brilliant because you get to try a little bit of something different. So you've got your thicker, which is your 0.5, which you can see at the bottom, and your slightly thinner, which is your 0.3. So for your different uses, depending on whatever effect you're wanting to create, you've got your art liners, but they're absolutely gorgeous quality. They're really smooth. They're not scratchy. I must say I've used some fine liners in the past, and you lay them down, they're really quite scratchy and horrible, quite frankly. These are absolutely gorgeous to work with, and I think you're going to find a lot of uses for these. And as well, if you're stamping in, perhaps you forget to use your stamp platform or whatever, and you've stamped using blocks and you've missed a tiny little bit, these are like your secret weapon. They're absolutely brilliant because you can go in and fill it a little bit of your stamped image that you might have missed for whatever reason. So they're absolutely brilliant. They're a brilliant sort of must-have staple to have in your crafty stash.
42 markers. I mean, value for money wise already, right? This is unbelievable. 71.99, 103.96, triple points, but we are not finished. So this is the posh box of chocolate where we take the lid off, and underneath, what have we got, Lily?
Oh my gosh. So, as if 42 pence wasn't enough. And look at the size of this. It is literally about the same size that I am.
Big.
It's so big, it's like, wow.
It's Lily size.
Lily size, yeah. Well, should we get that as a strap line?
Yeah.
So I mentioned this earlier. We do have our little sort of instruction, little manual. So all the key points about every single pen that's within this collection is explained there, which is a brilliant little reference guide when you are colouring with your pens. But the really exciting bit, we've not just given you the pens, we've given you absolutely everything you need. So we've actually given you bits to start colouring straight away. So it's an absolute all-in-one gift. You can get this out, you can open it and you can start colouring straight away. You literally don't need anything else at all. So you're getting 14 different colouring pages. And the key thing, the thing for me that really sets this apart, and you can tell the level of thought that's gone into this box, is the fact that they're not all printed on a generic sort of cardstock. So a cardstock that's supposedly one size fits all, it's not quite right for watercolour, it's not quite right for alcohol pens. We've given you separate, different images on different mediums, on different cardstocks. So we've got some that are on your watercolour card. So of course for your water-based mediums it's going to be absolutely perfect. Some of them are foiled and you've got almost like, it looks like it's been heat embossed. So if you're doing your resist techniques with your aqua pens and your water, they are going to be absolutely brilliant. So as if printed designs weren't enough, we've got foiled designs.
Yes.
Super special. And then we've got some which are printed onto our super smooth. So these are going to be brilliant for use with your classiques in the box. And some of them are actually already glittered. I have not added any glitter to that. That is actually already glittered. And don't forget, because your classiques are alcohol based, they will go over the top of that glitter, so you can get a coloured glitter effect onto there. Once again, we've got a little bit more foiling onto our super smooth cardstock and some of our regular designs, and that's one that our lovely Michelle started this morning in Wake Up Call. I might finish that a little bit later on myself actually. She's left it here, so it's mine, it's right for the picking. And then finally we've actually got them printed onto black.
Wow.
And it's this sort of, I'm not quite sure how they're doing it, some sort of amazing process. It looks like it's been heat embossed onto your black card. So this is going to be brilliant for all of your metallic markers within the collection. Perhaps even your glitter markers as well will look fabulous onto these, but it's something a little bit different. I don't think you expect that you're going to get all these colouring pages, all 14 of them, and things that are glittered, things that are foiled, things that have got this sort of resist technique. It's absolutely amazing. Wow, as if 42 pence wasn't enough, you get all of this as well. What a Christmas present this would be to a new crafter, an experienced crafter, someone who's done a little bit of colouring, someone who's done a lot of colouring. You can't go wrong, can you really? It's absolutely fantastic and it's huge.
Literally, that is going to be the present. You know when you come down Christmas morning and you're spying at all the presents, aren't you? That's the one that everyone's going to go, I hope that one's for me. I hope that present is mine. Make sure that you grab it today. Brilliant, brilliant deal on this. And as we've said, triple points, but this is only for today. It's our 7th day of Craftmas. This will change tomorrow. It'll be a great deal tomorrow, but it won't be triple points. So if you want to get the best value on this, low price, wherever you are within Club Inspire, but get the triple points as well today. And also just to sort of back up what Lily was saying, you know, if you are buying this as someone who's fairly new, there is so much information out there. Log on to YouTube, subscribe to Crafters TV, look back at all of the Colour Me Happy shows, get on our website, get on the Spectrum Noir website. You'll see so much out there as far as information and education is concerned, and of course you've got all of the instructions included within the collection as well, so you're just not left alone. And here's the other brilliant thing, we're live on this show for another hour and 20 minutes or so, so if you've got any questions that you need to ask, if you're going to buy this today and there's one thing that you need to know, if there's 2 or 3 things that you need to know, ask the questions, we'll get them answered, and we'll get this in your car and get you checked out. But loads of you are grabbing this already today. Let's have a look. I think Lily is lined up and ready to do some colouring. Which are you going to be using first?
I must say, I've just been looking through and I'm thinking, oh, what do I go
Where
to
do you
first?
start?
It is literally like you are completely spoilt for choice. But you know what? I'm going to start with the designs that are actually printed onto black, because I think these are fabulous. They're just something that little bit different, and it gives us an excuse to start with our lovely metallic markers that we've got within the collection. And I'm going to go for, I think, blue topaz first. I mean, I could stand here for the rest of the show deciding on a colour, but it wouldn't be too exciting.
It wouldn't be a great show.
No, maybe not. I might not get invited back if that happened. It'd be quite sad.
Well, there's lots of people hoping that you do get invited back.
Oh,
Some lovely
that's
comments
lovely.
coming through, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, everybody. It's so exciting to be here. Right, let's get on with the colouring. So I've chosen the wider brush end, and all I'm going to do, you don't need to have a lot of experience, you don't need to be an artist or anything like that. I'm just laying down a little bit of colour onto that, and I'm just flicking really, really easily onto there like so. Then taking my water brush, and do you remember we can actually blend this colour out if we want. So we can dilute that a little bit and just move that colour out to the edge of the line. And what you'll find is it's actually really, really easy to colour in on these particular pages because the printed design is raised a little bit. What you'll find is it acts as almost like a resist, so it's quite hard to go out the line. So if that is something that you are a little bit concerned about, then these colouring pages will absolutely hold your hand every single step of the way.
So would you say if you're getting this as it's like a new colourist, would you go in straight away and have a go with the colouring pages, or would you potentially, you know, maybe get some of the stamps that we've got today and stamp out onto some scrap cardstock, if you like, and have a practice before you get in and do these colouring pages, or would you just dive in and go for it?
I mean, personally, I tend to like to dive in and just go for it. But if you're not so confident, then definitely I'd recommend some of the stamps we've got on the show. You can just stamp it onto your cardstock, that depending on what medium you're using. So if you're using a water-based medium, then stamp it onto your watercolour card. Or if you're using your alcohol-based mediums like your classics within the collection, stamp it onto your Nina card. But absolutely, by all means, go straight onto your colouring pages within the kit. After all, they are there to be used, so don't get too precious and too worried about using them.
I only mean it to the point like this, that the designs and the images on the colouring pages are so nice that you're not just going to use them as a bit of a practice. You'll colour them in and then you'll put them on a project, won't you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're sized perfectly for your card making, so these can be card fronts. So as soon as you've coloured them, don't just leave them in the box, fully coloured in. Make them into cards, make them into bits of home decor. Get these in box frames, they'd be absolutely brilliant. And how lovely would it be to decorate your home with your own coloured artwork?
Yeah, right.
And as well, perhaps you're decorating your craft room, you can see your progress of your colouring coming along, which is absolutely fabulous. To be able to see that colouring journey that you've come on. I know we all look at our artwork that we've done in the past and think, blimey, I'm not so sure about that now, but
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I look at some of the first things I coloured. I mean, I can actually remember the very first image that I coloured in with my classics. It was a little hedgehog stamp.
Yeah.
Loved the stamp. I was delighted with it at the time. But I'm sure if I saw it now, I'd think, gosh, I have come along a bit. But it's lovely to look back and see how far you've come, because at the end of the day, this is a conversation I was having earlier. It's just practice.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's practice and it's confidence. It's having that confidence just to go for it. Don't worry about it. At the end of the day, yes, they are gorgeous colouring pages. So if you do want to start with a different medium, if you want to start with your stamps and just stamping onto your scrap card, then go for it. But at the end of the day, it's just a piece of cardstock. It's just a little bit of ink. That's all it is. So don't be worried. Don't be scared. Just go for it, because the most fun you're going to have is when you actually get started and you're not worried about things going wrong, because at the end of the day, you can usually find a way to save it, which is always absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely right.
So you see how very, very easily we built up a little bit of colour onto there. We can see in the metallic, just using a tiny little bit of ink from the pens and then watering it down with water can really, really quickly build up a little bit of colour onto there. You can see the images starting to pop already.
Absolutely love this. As I say, so many of you jumping in, saying you're loving this collection. Let us know as well, interesting, just a bit of a straw poll, what is your favourite Spectrum Noir marker? What do you tend to go for day to day? If you're getting this collection home today, which will be the first that you'll get out of the kit? I'd love to know that. Rhonda's just saying, I love working with the metallic markers. And Sue Ellen on Facebook, it's nice to see the different styles of colouring and crafting with new demonstrators. And Aisha saying, I appreciate the reminder that the metallic pens are water-based. Again, lots to remember, isn't there? Lots to take on board, and it is nice to get those reminders now and again, because it reminds you of all of the different things that you're able to do with all of the pens within the Spectrum Noir range. Mary Beth just saying, Lily is great. I hope we get to see a lot more from her. And in case you weren't here at the start of the show, Patty's just asking, this is my first time seeing Lily, and I missed the introduction. Where is she from? Where are you from? I mean, not literally, but actually, no, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Sheffield, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Jan's neck of the woods.
Yeah, very, very close to Jan, and Debbie. So, yeah. But yeah, most of the time I'm actually working in the office at Crafters HQ, putting together all the bundles, everything that we've got on the show. So I sort of work behind the scenes, but I am, in my heart, I'm a through and through crafter. That is sort of everything for me. That is who I am. I'm a crafter first and foremost. So to be here today is so, so exciting. Especially as colouring is sort of my first crafty love. So super, super excited to be here.
Brilliant stuff. Keep the questions coming through as well. Anything that you want to ask, anything that you want to know. Kathy also just saying the metallics are great, and not only on your black cardstock as well. Obviously, they're going to pop even more, aren't they, on that cardstock for you. Just as a by the by, I just want to show you some of the stamps. If you are after more cardstock, I'll Get It Got It Good deal this week is brilliant, because you've got MAC black cardstock, you've got stamping cardstock, Nina cardstock, craft cardstock, and a whole host of our adhesives in there as well. So worth jumping on board for. Now, just wanted to share with you some of the deals that we've got as far as our stamps are concerned. The illustrated animals, these were designed by our very own Sarah Kay, and I remember when we launched these because she was here with us in the studio. I've always loved these simply for the fact, A, the artwork is off the chart amazing, B, the stamps are nice and big and bold. So again, if you're getting this brand new collection today, you've got lots to be getting excited about and to be colouring. But I also love the fact that you get a die included, and it's not a die for the whole image, it's a die just to be able to cut out a portion of the image to give the image that you create that little bit of a lift, that little bit of a 3D effect. And in this case here, with this gorgeous owl, you've got the head and the wing. So again, once you cut that out with the die, again, you can create that 3D effect, which I just think is absolutely beautiful. If you just want to use the stamp and stamp that out and colour it, absolutely you can. Thinking of you, you're a hoot, get it, you're a hoot. And for a special friend are the sentiments that you get with the owl. By the way, if you're looking at that price and thinking, what, $35.92, $40.64, best deal we've ever done this for. The best ever price with a 40% saving. This elephant has got what I think is one of the best sentiments that we've done. Without love, life would be irrelevant.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Irrelevant. And once again, you've got that beautiful, unbelievable. Charlotte's just gone to Lily. She went, Lily, don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
Too late. That ship has sailed, I'm afraid. I have to say I love a pun.
Ha!
I absolutely love a pun.
Thank you. You are going to enjoy the next 3 hours and 15 minutes because Lily's coming back later on as well. Coming back later. Oh, wasn't I supposed to say? Are you coming back later?
Yeah.
Oh, good news. Good.
As long as I'm okay and I've not been told I'm out because I'm not Father Christmas, you know.
Although actually a few people have commented when you've moved a little bit now that way, but at the start of the show you were a little bit the other way and it looked like you were Father Christmas because the hat was, you were tall enough for the hat.
Oh.
Yeah, because the majority of people like Michelle, for example, and when the Anne comes in, they're a lot shorter, aren't they? So they're never near the hat, but you're in a good position for the hat.
So it is Father Christmas after all.
It is, yes. Lily Christmas.
What can I say?
Yes, so anyway. Stamps, yes, elephant, brilliant. Again, you've got that die to be able to cut out the main portion here, again, to create that lift, which is stunning. Not just elephants, though. These animal sets, they're just not complete now, are they? Unless they've got a unicorn in. Again, you've got the die to be able to cut that out should you want to. If you just want to stamp and colour, on you go. You've got beautiful sentiments. Stand out, believe in yourself, and have a magical day. This is gorgeous, and I'm sure when Sarah joined us on the show to launch these, this was the image that she was colouring, this gorgeous giraffe. They're just so stunning. And again, you've got the giraffe that you will get a die with yours. You've got the giraffe head there that you can cut out with the die. Born to be Wild and Stand Tall. I know both of our Debbies are big giraffe fans, and I think that would be absolutely their fave within this collection. And of course, no animal collection would be complete without a beautiful butterfly. And again, talk about all of the beautiful colours that you've got in your creative collection. How lovely will it be to get those colours into that gorgeous butterfly. All of those included with the 57 elements in total for the best price we've done them for. $35.92 if you're platinum, or $40.64. Best price we've ever done them for. And again, triple points, which I'm sure we very rarely do triple points, so I can say with confidence you won't have seen those before with triple points. We've also got on the show the Creator Card Die and Stamp collection, and again, if you are fairly new to crafting, fairly new to card making, these sets are brilliant because they just make making cards so super simple for you. You've got the dies and the stamps in this collection to be able to create these cards really quickly and simply. And again, we've popped these on this show because we know that you're going to be itching for things to colour, things to get creative with. And again, this is another lovely collection to go for. So once again, in this set, which is £25.59 if you're platinum, or $27.99, this has got to be the best price we've done it for as well. Yeah, absolutely. You've got your flowers and vines. Again, so this beautiful card that you cut out using your die, the stamp there too, so you can really get colouring those beautiful florals in. We've then got gorgeous woodland scenes as well. This one here is your Wild and Free. Lots of love recently for all of these kind of woodland scenes that we've done with those stags there too, looking absolutely gorgeous. Again, beautiful to be using with your brand new creative collection. Butterflies again. This one here is your butterfly frame, the butterfly garden. Again, so much to love about this, and I love the fact as well you've got the ability just to pop those wings up out of your frame as well, just to give you a bit more 3D and a bit more lift to your projects. Then we've got this beautiful country scene. This one here is your scenic village. I'd like to live there. Actually, it looks a little bit like where I live, sort of. Well, that looks like the village where I live, but I don't live in the posh part of the village. I live down at the sort of the bottom end of the village, the peasants' end of the village. No, it's not the rough end. It's just not like, it doesn't look like this. The village green sort of looks like that. I just live in the new build area, you know. Yeah, all the locals are like, oh, that new build spoiled our village. And then you've got your charming church. Looks a lot like the church in my village, which is also in that nice bit there. It's in that bit. Oh no, that's not in that bit. That's the next one. It's in that bit. There you go. But the point is, with all of these, plenty to be having fun with, plenty to be creating great cards with. This is the last one within the collection, which is that beautiful In the Woods, again with that winding woodland scene. Really nice collection. 24 elements in total for just £25. 59 if you're platinum, or $27.99 And then lastly, also on our best ever price, we bundled together our snowmen and penguins. And who wouldn't want beautiful snowmen and penguins together in a lovely collection? Best ever price on these also. Like if you're on a bit of a budget today, but you are looking for something to keep you busy, then you need to grab these. And I tell you what, because Lily was talking earlier on about how she helps put these shows together. If you're looking at that price and you're thinking, that's an amazing price, well done, Lily.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do we even manage to do these sort of deals?
Don't tell anyone. We've got 3 best ever prices.
I know. That normally happens on sort of like a cartload or a warehouse clearance show.
Not something that we launched the other month.
No.
Don't tell anyone.
Shh.
It's a secret. Shh. Just get it while you can.
Don't tell anyone.
I might walk back through the office tonight and then, what have you done, Lily?
Ooh, no, they might not let you back in at this rate. They might not let you back in.
They might have locked the doors.
Yeah, exactly right. The point is, again, with these though, is they are super cute. I would say slightly different to the stamps that we brought you previously, because these are cute. These are super cuddly. And again, for Christmas makes, maybe if like me, you're getting your kids involved in crafting this year, making your own Christmas cards. I think the kids are absolutely going to love working with these. And again, you've got really cute sentiments to go with each of the different characters, and not only the snowman, because literally the cutest.
So
cute. These are all included in here as well at the best ever price, £15.32 or $22.85. And what I would say as well with this is, if you are watching again, well, hang on a minute, I've done the majority of my Christmas cards. Christmas will be around again next year. Yep, newsflash, it will be here.
Really?
It's coming next year. We're doing it next year.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's news to me.
Oh yeah. No, it's not cancelled. I don't think so, not yet anyway. And you'll be wanting items like this. It's nice to have a broad selection of different kind of stamps and dies for Christmas for all of those different people that you need to make for. That is a fun collection. It's £15.32 or $22.85 today if you're platinum. And also, just jumping on the best ever price bandwagon, triple points. That's today as well. Today only as part of our 12 days of Craftmas. So jump in, enjoy the triple points, enjoy the discounts, and keep those baskets being checked out, because you will not want to miss out. Pammy just saying, I use my illustrators the most, but I love working with all of the Spectrum Noir products. Crafty Angie says, I never thought of using the metallic markers like Lee just did with that blue marker. I'm going to try that. Mary saying, I love the set of illustrated animals, especially the owl. Ooh, best ever price. And Kathy Carson Cray on YouTube says, I love that owl and the elephant. Yes. Best ever price, and make sure that you grab them, because again, the triple points tomorrow will be irrelevant. Right, let's go back over to nothing. Let's go back over to Lily and have a look at some more of the pages that we've got in our creative collection. What are we looking at next?
Right, I want to show you how we can actually use our glitter markers into the black, which is fabulous. So you can, we've seen how we can use our metallic markers onto the black, and they work absolutely gorgeously. But we can actually use our glitter markers as well onto this black card. So it's fabulous because we can use them onto white, we can use them onto black, coloured, anything at all, they're going to work beautifully. And that's thanks to the richly pigment that we've got in there, and that a really, really high amount of glitter, which is fab. It's going to give us some lovely effects. So I'm using Frozen Lake. Once again, a gorgeous name that we've got. We've not just called it blue or light blue, no. And can you see, just colouring into this small section, we get a little bit of that, that blue glitter onto there. So because we've got quite a fine nib on the end of there, we can get into all this fine detail. So these colouring pages are so beautifully detailed. We've got lots of intricate drawn detail onto there.
And can I ask a question, because I know this will probably come in at some point, so I'll preempt it. So we, obviously in this collection we've got the sparkle pens.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got the glitter markers as well.
Yeah.
When would you reach for one or the other? Like you personally, when would you go, oh, sparkle pen here or glitter marker there? What's your take and preference?
Well, with our glitter markers, what we've got is we've got quite a firm bullet nib.
Yeah.
So if I'm wanting to get into really, really fine detail, I'll tend to go for my glitter markers.
Yeah.
Just because you've got that firmer nib. Whereas if I actually bring in one of my sparkly pens, what we've got on the sparkle pens is we've actually got a brush nib. So these are perfect if you want to lay down colour perhaps on a larger area, or you want to do more painterly style effects. That brush nib's going to be perfect. So I think it just depends on what sort of effect you want to create. I think for fine detail, your glitter markers are brilliant. But as well, at the end of the day, for me, a lot of the time what it comes down to is my range of colours. So I'll look at whether I've got the right colour in the glitter markers or the sparkle pens and sort of go from there.
Okay.
So there's not a really hard and fast rule. It is up to you, but the nibs are different at the end of the day, basically. Both loaded full of sparkle.
Yes, that's the point.
That is the key point, yeah. They're both absolutely gorgeous. So with this blue one, I'm just filling in this area. So it doesn't give us a lot of colour, but it still gives us that sparkle when we're working onto the black, which is stunning. So can you see it gives us that really, really special effect onto there. It just gives it that touch of sparkle and luxury. Absolutely stunning. So I'm thinking, shall we move on to one of the other colouring pages?
Why not? Yeah, let's have a look, because there's 14 in the collection.
There's 14. And don't forget that we've got our black card, we've got our super smooth, and we've also got our watercolour card. Shall we go for a little bit of watercolouring?
Yeah, why not? Let's see those.
Yeah. So let's go for some of our foiled ones. I couldn't help it. We had to do the butterflies, didn't we?
I love how much you're loving this show. It's like watching a kid in a candy shop.
I know. It's like every time I look at the box, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. I love it. Just a typical crafter. We've got to have everything. We've got to try everything. But butterflies, for me, you can't go wrong at all. Right. The hardest bit is choosing a colour, like I always say. It's a choice. You're spoilt for choice with this box. Absolutely. Right, shall we go for a little bit of sparkle?
Yes, why not?
So we've got foiling on there already, but we can always add sparkle. Can always add more sparkle. So we're going to go for our aqua pens. So I've chosen tulip, lovely pink, once again. Do love my pink. So if I'm taking my brush nib, now don't forget we've got our dual-ended pens for our aqua, so we've got a really, really fine bullet nib, and that is super, super fine. You can get into such fine detail with that nib. If I just scribble a little bit down, can you see just how fine that is?
Absolutely.
So if you've got branches, perhaps like on some of the stamps that Ben was showing you earlier, you have some really fine branches. The detail within those stamps is really, really intricate. So these are going to be perfect because you're going to be able to achieve all that fine detail with ease, really. But I'm going to be using the brush nib. Like I showed you earlier, it's really, really smooth. The laydown of colour is really, really effortless. So they're basically a joy to work with. I've got to say, I love colouring with my aquas. So starting with one of the butterflies, I don't know about you guys at home, but when I first get an image that I'm colour, I'm always like, where am I going to start? Where am I going to start? You feel spoilt for choice because there's so much gorgeous detail within the image, but I've gone for this one.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is I'm using a flicking motion, which is brilliant with your brush nib. It makes it so easy to achieve that flicking technique.
Yeah.
So I'm starting at the base and I'm literally just flicking out. So I'm keeping my hand firmly on the table, on my piece of paper. I'm not lifting up. That gives me control by keeping my palm on the surface like so. So just flicking outwards, probably about halfway of the wing, so I'm not filling in all of the image, just flicking about halfway. So you can see quite easily that we've laid down colour really, really quickly onto there. Now I'm taking my sparkle pen, crystal clear, not just clear, crystal clear.
You're learning now, pick them all up, crystal clear.
And I'm just going to apply a similar technique, and I'm just going to blend that colour out.
Yeah.
So just work that in, so circular motions, just to pick up some of that colour and then blend it out, just like so. So not only are we extending the number of colours that we get from this pen, if you like, we're getting that ombre, but we're also adding the sparkle onto there. So as if foiling wasn't special enough, now we're adding glitter and sparkle. So it's going to be a super, super special coloured image.
Effective as well, just watching you draw the colour out. Yeah.
Oh, it's so satisfying, isn't it? When that colour starts to move and travel, it's ever so satisfying.
Do you have to get in quickly with the pens? Like, have you got like a certain amount of time to get in and work with the colour?
No, not at all. With it being water-based, you can actually go in and reactivate that ink. So don't worry about being really, really quick with these. It's a little bit different when you're working with your classiques. You want to work wet in wet. So when you're using your classiques and you lay down your first colour and then you come with your darker colours and you come to blend that together, you do want to work fairly quickly. I'm not saying rush or anything like that, definitely not. Do take your time. But you do want to be working with wet in wet with your alcohol-based pens, because it's a lot easier to blend the wet ink than it is to blend onto dry cardstock. So which is why we say when you are working with your alcohol-based pens, just to work at a small area at a time, rather than looking at a big portion of the image. So for example, if I was working onto this particular image, I'd do one petal at a time. I wouldn't do the full flower, I'd do just one petal at a time. It just makes it more manageable as well. And perhaps you've only got a few minutes each day to do a little bit of colouring.
Yeah.
This is going to be perfect. You can focus on a little portion of your little coloured images. You can just do a little bit each day. It's not got to be a great huge project that you spend hours over. That could literally be my little bit of colouring for the day, my 5 minutes of me time at the end of perhaps a long and stressful day. This is going to be perfect. It's just something you can get out, a little bit of mindful colouring. It's going to be absolutely perfect, whether you are new or whether you've been colouring for a long time. Now look how easy that was, just to add that colour onto there. So not only have we got depth and dimension because we've got the shading, we've also got a little bit of sparkle onto there as well. But how easy and quick was that to do? And we can be doing that with any of our colours of aqua pens. And of course we can be doing that same technique with our glitter pens as well. We saw earlier how we can blend them out with water. The options are absolutely endless. I mean, I think what I'd be doing with this one is I'd be doing a different technique on each butterfly.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice to try out all your different pens, all your different techniques. Be absolutely fab.
I loved how simple that was though, just adding the colour, the tulip, wasn't it, from the aqua pen?
Yeah, the pink tulip.
And adding in the crystal clear, and how fantastic was that? So super achievable, and it's nice, isn't it, when we can break it down and you can see just how easy and achievable all of these colouring concepts are. And that's what this collection is all about giving you the creativity, all about giving you, I say a little bit, quite a lot of everything as far as your classiques are concerned, as far as your aquas are concerned, your metallic markers in there. There's plenty of sparkle in this creative collection as well. Loads of you just chatting. Jane says, I've just ordered this. I love colouring, so I'm looking forward to getting it. Rhonda, I love the glitter markers. They're the ones I go for most of the time. Liz on YouTube says, I bought most of the marker collections and I haven't regretted it for a second. My colouring is more enjoyable and improved with these. Cindy just saying, thank you, Crafter's Companion, for having so many varied designers and presenters. Lily has a lovely, soft, engaging voice. I'm not able to look away to do any housework.
Oh, that's always good. Housework is not good. No. Craft instead.
Yeah, craft, housework.
Yeah. It can wait.
Of course it can, of course it can.
There's tomorrow.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
And it probably isn't, you know, if you're vacuuming or something, it's probably not as bad as you think it is anyway.
Yeah.
And generally, lots of love coming in for Lily, who we think is doing a smashing job. And I'm sure you're all agreeing at home as well. But let's give Lily a bit of a break. I've just looked at the clock. I can't believe we've got less than an hour to go. This has been flying by. Brand new launch today. If you want to jump in and grab it, today's a great day to do it. You can be one of the very first to get your hands on it. And for today only, as part of our 12 days of Craftmas, you can get triple points. What are you waiting for? Head to the checkouts. We will come back. We'll have another good look through the box for you as well in case you missed it at the top of the show. But head to the checkouts. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Quiet. The neighbours.
I'm all out of Zoom. I'm so lost without you. I'm not singing.
Lisa, if you email in, don't send a picture of your air fryer. Make sure it's something creative.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
You entertain us, you give us a community to talk, in the chat. That wouldn't happen without you guys. It's like Crafters Companion is magical. There's magic here.
Joy, there's not a dry eye in the studio here. Debbie's welling up, I'm welling up.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV. Create every day.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. Welcome to launch day. Loads of you checking out your baskets during that short little break there. Lots of you going for the Colour Creations kit, the brand new kit from Spectrum Noir. If you have just joined us, we will go through it in more detail later on in the show, but basically it's a brand new collection which is going to give you the opportunity to try lots of our different ranges, from our classics through to our aqua markers, to our metallic markers, to our sparkle pens, glitter pens, art liners, and we're even putting in the collection 14 colouring pages as well. So it's a 56-piece collection for £71.99 today for your platinum, $103.96, and the triple points on the bottom of your screen, they're only applicable for today. So you'll be able to come back and get this tomorrow. However, you won't get triple points with it. So if you're thinking, oh, shall I, shan't I, jump in and grab it today. Loads of lovely comments still coming through. Ruth just says, I really appreciate all of the tips and simple explanations to make my colouring better. Lily is quite knowledgeable. Thank you for sharing with us. Let's get back to it then. If you've got any more questions coming in, by the way, then do get those in on Facebook and YouTube. And also a quarter of the stock has now gone of our launch day stock. So proving very, very busy indeed. We've also got on the show lots of stamps for you that we had a look at about 20 minutes ago. And we thought it might be useful just to have a look at these, because the creator cards are proving really, really popular. So this is the collection I showed you a few moments ago. Stamps and dies on a best ever price for you. And again, Lily, I suppose this is a nice little collection to pop in with your creative collection, because, well, you're going to be wanting lots of images to have a play around with, aren't you?
Absolutely. Once you get started with your colouring, once you start using all these pens, you're going to be wanting lots and lots of images to colour in, which is why we've popped these stamps on the show for you. And we've got a really nice mix, to be honest. We've got a little bit of Christmas, you've got your cute, you've got your illustrated animals, which are absolutely fantastic. But then, like we say, we've got these creator card. And they're not just stamps, they are stamps and dies. So perfect. Perhaps you are a die cutter at the moment and you've not dipped your toe into the world of stamping and colouring. This is going to bridge the gap really nicely. So you've got your dies, which are quite familiar, and then you've got your stamps as well. So they bring together sort of your fusion of your stamping and a range that we do at Crafters Companion, and we have done for a number of years now, which is really, really popular, which is our Create a Card dies. And they do exactly what they say, which is always nice when the clue's in the name. It's
do they create
brilliant.
a card?
Well, funnily enough, they do.
Wow.
But with ease, which is brilliant. So if you need a quick card, they are fantastic. The size that they are, these are 6x4, means that you can create really nice cards, nice 6x4 cards, or you can layer them up onto a larger card if you like, with the real impact, but really easily. But what I'd like to show you is I'd like to stamp out one of the images. So I've got my 8x8 magnetic stamping platform. We've got this on the show today. This is absolutely fantastic. If you are new to stamping, then this is the perfect place to start. I know when I first started with stamping, we were using acrylic blocks, which are great, but this is just like a safety net. So if you do mis-stamp a bit, perhaps you didn't ink up your image quite enough, perhaps you just miss a little bit when you're stamping, you've got that safety net, and I'll show you how that works. So I've taken the stamp, let's be honest, it's been well loved, but it is a gorgeous design, and I'm working with the butterfly frame. And all I've done is I've taken a piece of Nina cardstock, so I'm going to be colouring using alcohol-based pens, which is why I've chosen the Nina cardstock. And I've used the magnets to just position this into my stamp platform. And with it being magnetic, it's brilliant because it means I don't need to get any low-tack tape and start taping it down. The magnets are going to hold that into position into this magnetic base unit. Now, like I say, very much like my stamp platform is a little bit well loved, but it's always a good sign with your crafty stash. If it's pristine and clean, it's a little bit like, bit concerning. So all I do is take the stamp side down, so it's facing down onto my cardstock. And then I take the lid of my magnetic stamp platform. I'm finding it difficult to say that today. I'm not quite sure why.
What's that, magnetic stamping platform?
Magnetic stamping platform.
Yeah. It's not an easy one.
No, it's not.
No.
But hey, we'll get there. And then we've got springs in this lid, and all we do is we press it down, and that's just going to pick up our stamp onto our lid of our stamping platform. So can you see now, we've just picked up our stamp. Then all we're going to do is ink it up. Now, because we are thinking we're going to be using our classiques, our alcohol-based markers to colour, we need an ink pad that isn't going to smear or smudge when we actually add the alcohol pens over the top. So we need our alcohol-proof dye. And as the name suggests, see, we're quite good at naming at Crafters Companion. We make it really, really easy. Alcohol-proof, non-smear with alcohol ink. We know this is going to be the right ink pad. We've actually got these on the show today.
We have.
Absolutely. We get 2 in there. I'm using the black, but you get a couple in your bundle.
You've got Noir, black and rustic brown.
Absolutely. So depending on the effect you want to create, you've got the couple of options. If you want something a little bit more rustic, a little bit more muted, the brown is brilliant. If you want a really sharp, crisp image, the black is going to be the one to go for. But of course, like everything, we don't need one ink pad, we need a range of colours, which is why we've popped a bundle of a couple together for you today. So if we just ink up this stamp, just gentle tapping all over that stamp, but I'm not going to worry too much, because if I have missed a bit, if I haven't inked up quite right, we can always go back in and stamp again. So lay that on and then just press down. So firm, even pressure all over that stamp, just using my fingertips, and then we can just stamp up and have a look. Now can you see we've missed a bit? So all we're going to do, not to worry, because we've not moved our cardstock, because it is taped it's not tape, sorry. We've got the magnets which are holding it into position. It doesn't matter at all. The only thing to remember is that you put your stamp platform up the same way.
Yeah. It's great that you're loving this as well, because yesterday our Michelle said this is pretty much her favourite crafting tool, and then Sarah was on with this yesterday as well, just singing the praises of this particular bit of kit. Great for first timers, but also, Lily, I think great for people perhaps who've fallen out of love with stamping and maybe find it difficult to now do, because like you've just demonstrated there, you know, if you're not using your stamping platform, you stamp and it's not come out correct, they're very difficult then to line it up or to go back in. You might just give up, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's an absolutely fantastic piece of kit. So can you see out, this is one I've done earlier, this is onto Nina again, and not only have I stamped out the image that we've got there that we've just stamped out, I've also stamped out the couple of sentiments. So within the sets, we don't just give you the main image, we don't just give you the main image and the die, we're also giving you a couple of sentiments, and those can actually fit into the centre of the frame just as that finishing touch. So it's a complete set, which is absolutely brilliant, particularly if you're a new crafter and you're needing sentiment in your stash as well. So they stamp out absolutely beautifully, and then you can be die cutting. And once you've stamped, you've die cut, you've coloured, perhaps using some of your gorgeous pens within your box, you can be creating lovely cards just like this really, really easily. So all it is one stamped image, a little bit of colouring, it's die cut, add your sentiment, and look how effective that is. Or how about actually snipping into the image? So stamping out a couple of times, colouring it a couple of times, and just layering up those butterflies. A few gems onto the centres of the bodies, and you've got a really, really stunning, striking card. And that's just one of the sets you're getting within that particular collection of stamps and dies. Keep forgetting it's stamps and dies, as if stamps weren't enough, we're giving you the die as well. So it's absolutely brilliant, a great one to get your hands on and perfect for use with your brand new box of goodies.
It really is, and that is the thing to consider as well, that Liz pointed out, the fact that you've got stamps and dies for that redonkulous price. I mean, let's just sit on this for a minute and just have a look at £107.94 or £119.70. Everyone saved £75.95 or £84.71. And then you get another 20% off on top of that if you're a platinum member. So for what is over £100, almost $120, you're paying just over £25, just under $28. It is phenomenal. And again, stamps and dies with all of these. So if you want to combine them, you can do. If you just want to stamp out and use the stamp as is, you can do. But you've got your beautiful in the woods. The flowers and vines is included in here too. Perfect, as we said, as Lee was mentioning, for making your 6x4 cards. There's that wild and free with the beautiful stags in the woodland, the butterfly frame that we've just seen there. Again, if you want to multi-cut that, as we've been chatting about, to create that level of depth and dimension. And then the two beautiful scenes in there as well. That stunning scenic village, which is just gorgeous, works lovely with that charming church, and then finally we have got the natural beauty. So all of those included for a bargain price today, and lots of you talking about that and jumping in and grabbing that collection. Triple points, $25.59 or $27.99 if you're platinum and you're shopping with us in the US. Still lots of lovely comments coming through. Keep the questions coming through as well if there's anything that you want to ask. Gorgeous, Lily says Pam E on YouTube. Beautiful cards, Lily says Mary Reno on YouTube as well. And Ruth is saying, yes, really appreciate all of the tips and simple explanations to make my colouring better. Right, we have also got on the show for you some other pen deals. Right, so we've got the Creative Collection. However, we've got the Classic Collection, 96 markers in total. If you want to jump in and grab this, so maybe already you love your classics. Those are the pens that you tend to go for. This collection comes with your 12-piece floral. You've got your nature, your pastel and vintage, your design, textile, industrial, and dual. £101.60, $152.80 if you're platinum, and again triple points, which I won't stop bleating on about. That is today only as part of our 12 days of Craftmas. If it's aqua pens that you're after, if you love doing your watercolouring techniques, the aqua markers are available for you, 36 in total. Here you're going to get your 12-piece nature, your 12-piece please, 12, see I'm doing it now, 12-piece floral and your 12-piece primary as well. So again, with those, the dual-ended pens for doing all of your beautiful watercolour effects. Once again today, saving of £13.80, £17.97. Platinum price is £44.14 or $57.50. And then lastly, your tricolour markers. Again, these slightly different for the fact that you've got 12 markers in total, water-based once again, but of course you're getting the different shades of colour within each of the pens. So you talk about it being 12 pens, but actually you've got 36 colours within that collection. And again, a huge saving, £10, $15 almost, £23.90 or $35.88. And if you love your sparkle, then these metallic paint markers I think will probably be falling into your basket, particularly for the fact that you've got a 20% saving on these today as well. You've got your 3-piece liquid gold, your 3-piece quicksilver, and then your 3-piece molten copper 2. And the great thing about the metallic paint markers is that you can pretty much take these onto whatever you like, really. £15.34 today for that collection, $19.10 if you're platinum. And once again, triple point with all of those as well. Lots of great little stocking fillers for you today. Lots of ways to maybe treat yourself. Lots of ways also to maybe kind of, get a partner to buy you some goodies for Christmas as well. Lots of best price evers, lots of stocking filler prices. But let's talk about the brand new launch. Over a quarter of the stock has now gone of the Colour Creations kit. Creative Collection, 42 markers in total, 14 colouring pages. This is about treating someone you love this Christmas to an unbelievable collection of our Spectrum Noir markers. And like Lily was talking about, I mean, this is a substantial gift. I mean, not just for the quantity that you get, but the size of the box as well. This is the present that everybody is going to be wanting to unwrap under the Christmas tree this year. And this is also brilliant for the fact that if you have got, maybe your kids are really getting into art, maybe they're doing art at school and, they're getting really interested in now what you do with your colouring and your crafting, and they're forever borrowing your classiques, they're forever borrowing your aqua markers, and now you can go, well, actually, I'm going to get you this collection. You've got a little bit of everything in there. 42 markers in total, from your classiques through to your aqua markers, through to your metallic markers. There's your sparkle, there's your glitter in there as well. Not to mention, of course, the outliners and 14 colouring pages. And here's the other thing. If this is maybe a gift for someone who's fairly new, or you're treating yourself today because, you've not started yet your colouring journey, but you're thinking, hang on a minute, this is great because I get a little bit of everything. But what happens if I get this home and I get stuck? You've got all the instructions within there that you need. And like Lily's been saying, you can always come back and watch shows like this. Colour Me Happy is a great show, right? If you're not yet subscribed to us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube and then search for the Colour Me Happy shows, because we will cover off week on week all of the different pens that we have in this collection. We'll talk about alcohol inks, we'll talk about the pens which are water-based, we'll talk about the different cardstocks that you'll use as well. So you're never left alone, you'll never be stuck. And we're always live, each and every day we're live. So if you do ever get completely stuck, you can come and drop in on the show and ask us, or ask the rest of our crafty family who watch all of these shows, because chances are someone will know the answer. $71.99 is your price today if you're platinum, $103.96 and triple point. But let's have another look at the box with Lily, shall we? And just have a good look through this. We're going to have a look at the colouring pages. Again, so she's really excited. Every time I look at her, she's like, yes, can I go again? Can I go? And again, if people have just joined and they're wondering, hang on a minute, who's this Lily that's joined over the other side of the studio? So normally you're involved in putting the shows together, but basically you love your crafting as well, right?
Absolutely. So I am first and foremost a crafter. That's why I absolutely love to do, in particular, colouring. So this is right up my street. But most of the time in the office, I am the person that's helping to put together the shows, deciding what we're going to feature on the shows. But to be down here today, showing you a little bit of colouring is absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited, so honoured to be down here.
We love having you here, and loads of lovely comments coming through. By the way, Lily will be with us later on for launch party, where we've got a brand new craft kit as well.
Oh, it's very, very exciting.
Oh, yes, it is. Colouring pages.
Yes, that. Yeah, so beforehand, we were looking at one of the watercolour pages. So we used one of our aqua pens and we blended it out with a sparkle pen. But I found we can get a similar sort of technique with our glitter markers. So if we take one of our glitter markers, I'm going for neon violet. Once again, pink, of course, I apologise. I think.
The pink theme is running through this show.
Yeah. So I've not actually used this colour yet, and it's quite a good note just to show you what you need to do when you get these home. So I might look at this and think, oh blimey, there's no ink in my barrel. I've got a dud one, that's not great. Don't worry, you just need to prime it. It's just because it's not been used before. So all you need to do is just take a piece of scrap paper or cardstock and just push that nib in just a few times. And can you see that ink is starting to flood the nib? And now you know you're ready to start colouring. Oh, look how gorgeous that colour is. It's so, so rich and sparkly. It's absolutely beautiful. But of course, don't forget, these are, like we mentioned earlier, they are water-based. So perhaps we don't want a colour that's quite that dark, quite that intense. We can, of course, water them down just with ordinary water. So we're colouring in a little bit of the body, just in the very centre. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take some water and a paintbrush. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, it doesn't have to be a paintbrush with water. It can be a water brush if you find that easier.
Yeah.
And we just blend out that colour, just dragging out the colour from the centre of that butterfly's body where we lay down the glitter marker, that gorgeous pinky purpley tone, just dragging that colour out to the very edge of the wings, just like so. And how quick and easy is it to lay down that colour onto there? Now what you could be doing is once that's dried, you could be going back in with your glitter marker and adding even more intense colour to the very centre of those wings if you want to deepen that colour and add a little bit more depth and dimension onto there. But look, just with the one coat, what a fabulous effect we get onto there. So this one was the one earlier that we coloured using our aqua pen and our crystal clear overlay of the sparkle pen. And then this is the one we've just done using the glitter marker and ordinary water. Wow. So two different effects with two different types of pens that we've got in the box, but both equally absolutely fabulous. I want to show you another quick little thing. I'm just going to sneak in the metallic paint markers. Now I know Ben's mentioned these earlier. We've got a set of 3 packs, so there's 9 in total. You've got your gold, silver and your bronze. I'm going for the gold. Going for gold, why not? Got to aim high after all. I've gone for the chisel nib, the widest one. And you can see this has been used before. So once you first get these home, very much like the glitter markers, you will just need to prime it just by pumping it gently. Yeah. You can see that's ready to go now. And what we can do with these, I absolutely love this technique. We can edge the edges of our cardstock, of our coloured pieces, using our metallic paint markers, and it gives it almost like a faux matten layer. Yeah. So almost like we've matted it onto some mirror card. Just gives it that finishing touch, and with the gold foiling onto there, it just ties your eye in into the centre of that lovely coloured image. Obviously it's only part coloured at the moment, but once you colour that in fully, you've got that border onto there, and it just gives it that special finishing touch.
It does look like a matte layer, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Really clever.
But you've saved cardstock, you've saved glue, you've saved paper, you've saved weight. So if you are posting out your cards, it's going to save a whole layer of cardstock, so you are saving weight on there. But it's just a really quick and easy technique that just finishes off your coloured pieces really, really easily.
And those markers will go onto a lot of other different materials as well, won't they?
Absolutely. So it's not just about cardstock and your porous surfaces. They can go on to absolutely all sorts. So we're talking glass, we're talking ceramic, wood, absolutely all sorts. Brilliant for your mixed media, your home decor. So yeah, they're great for your card making, they're great for your paper crafting, but they're also brilliant for your home crafting as well. So they're going to grow with you as you go on your crafty journey too, which is always fantastic.
I think it's a super price for those as well today. 20% saving for everyone, plus another 20 if you're platinum. So 1534 or 1910. You get a super fine. So basically, you've got the three different colours. Okay, so you've got your molten copper. You've also got your liquid gold, and then you've got the beautiful quicksilver in there as well. And within each of those, you've got the three different sizes. So you've got your 0.7mm super fine, your 3mm fine, and the 4mm chisel in there too. So again, the fact that these are so super versatile, and the fact that you can take these onto lots of different materials as well. Just think, nice little gift idea this Christmas time for anyone who's into their Spectrum Noir products, and a really lovely saving for everyone today as well. Triple points to $15.34 or $19.10 if you are a platinum member. Half an hour to go. The show is rattling away with us. Lots of you coming in with the beautiful comments. I'll be using the drawing gum on the butterflies and doing an inky background, says Jennifer. And Carrick is saying, my son loves all the tri-blends and the illustrators as he's into drawing anime. Let's have a look through this kit though. If you weren't with us at the start, we're going to take time to show you everything that you've got. And I know Lily will be super excited to have another little play with this huge collection. Over a quarter of the stock has now gone. This is for you if you're starting a colouring journey. This is for you if you love all of our Spectrum Noir products and you've just got to have the next collection. And this is also for you that if you are looking for a great gift for a grandchild, a child perhaps who's looking to get into their colouring journey, like Cara is saying, her son loves drawing anime. This is a great way to be able to kind of encourage them on their colouring journey. And it's brilliant for the fact, Lily, isn't it, that you get a selection of the different ranges that we've got from Spectrum Noir. You get a little bit of everything.
Absolutely, so it's brilliant if you are new to Spectrum Noir and you're wanting to try the range and you're not quite sure where to start. Perhaps you've not done a lot of colouring before and you're not really sure what's going to be your preferred medium. This is absolutely brilliant. But those lovely comments we've just had, it's just made me think in terms of drawing anime, you can be using your art liners within the collection to actually do your drawings if you are artistic and into your drawing, and then you can be using some of your pens to actually colour them in. So I think that's going to be absolutely perfect. Brilliant.
What's in the box?
Oh, well, there's an awful lot. Right, shall we open it? But first of all, like I've said earlier, the size of it.
Lily-sized.
It's lily-sized. You get a lily-sized box.
The way you were holding it then was just like you received like a massive pizza.
Yeah, thank you. Yum, yum, yum.
One of those dustbin lid size ones.
It's getting to that time of day, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's getting to feeding time. Yeah. Anyway, so box is absolutely gorgeous, but it's also got a little magnetic clasp. So it's going to hold your pens really, really secure. You're not going to pick it up and then the lid comes off and they all roll out and getting a right mess. Nah, none of that with this box. So when we open it up, you can see all your pens in there, and my goodness me, what a feast for the eyes. It's absolutely brilliant, the amount you get in there. You can see just to look at how much you're getting, and you're getting 42 pens across our Spectrum Noir ranges. So there's a little bit of almost all of our Spectrum Noir ranges really. But let's start with our aqua pens. So I believe we're getting 10 of those.
We are.
In a rainbow of colours. And if we actually take one of them, you'll see that they are beautifully presented with the Spectrum Noir branding on there, and they are dual ended. So on one end we've got our fantastic brush nib. Now I absolutely love a brush nib. You can create so many fantastic effects with that brush. So perhaps you want to be doing your flicking techniques for hair, for fur. That smooth lay down of colour is absolutely brilliant with that brush nib. It's beautiful quality. And can you see it's not fibrous, there's not any sort of fibres that are going to splay or split or anything like that.
That's such a great point you've made actually. I've not heard that mentioned too much, but when you get like the cheaper pens, and you see after you've used them for a while, you see the individual kind of fibres coming away and you can tell that they're on the way out, can't you?
Yeah. They're great to start off with, but after you've used them a little bit, they all start to splay, and quite frankly, they become a little bit useless. There's none of that with these. They're going to hold that point no matter how much colouring you do. They're going to be absolutely beautiful quality. And can you see that it ends in a really, really fine point? And that means that we can actually get a lot of fine detail even with our brush nib. But if we are needing really, really fine detail on our stamped images, we've got the really, really fine bullet nib onto there. It's almost like a fine liner. It's so fine. So if you have got stamped images that are really, really detailed, that's going to be the one to go for. And don't forget, with them being water-based, you can of course blend them out with water. So I'd recommend, if you are stamping and colouring, to use a waterproof ink, like the ones that we've got on the show today, the finesse ones. And I recommend stamping onto a watercolour card. Just means you can blend out the colour a lot easier when you're adding your water.
Absolutely. The colours that you're going to get, by the way, we're going to look at more of the pens. The aqua pens you've got are your crimson, jasmine, meadow, verdant green, lake blue, aquamarine, purple, heather, tulip and rose pink. And those waterproof dyes we do have on the show for you as well, as Lily's just mentioned. You've got those in Noir Black, also Pebble, and your Flagstone. Bottom of the screen if you want to pick up those three today. £11.97 or $17.97, less your club inspired discount, and you'll get triple points on those as well. So nice little add-ons to pop into your basket today, potentially get you closer to that free shipping as well. Right, so 10 aqua pens, but by my calculations that is another 32 markers in this collection. What next?
And you said you weren't a mathematician. Pretty fast math. Shall we go to our glitter markers next? Woohoo, sparkly, sparkly. So we're getting 8 of these, I do believe.
Yes, we are.
Yep. So these, I've got one lovely bullet nib. So can you see this one's not been used before because it's got the white nib. But don't forget, like we showed earlier, to prime them, all you need to do is just press down a few times onto your piece of scrap cardstock, and that will prime the nib and the ink will start running through. These are super, super glittery, packed with glitter. But don't forget, like we showed earlier, they are of course water-based, which means you can blend them out with water. And you can get lots and lots of different effects. You can mix the colours together. You can get that ombre of colour going from your dark, your really intense colour that's pure from the pen to a lot lighter when we blend it out with water. And because they are packed full with glitter, even when you're adding your water, you're still going to get a lot of sparkle with those.
Fiery red, neon orange, jade aqua, frozen lake, cool blue, midnight frost, neon violet and neon pink are the 8 colours that you're going to get with your glitter markers within that collection. So that is now, I forgot my maths now, 18, that's 24 more markers. Yes.
Very good.
Thank you. Where are we going next?
Shall we go to metallics next?
Let's do it.
Oh, so we're getting 8.
Yep.
8 of these. And these are once again dual-ended. So we're saying 8, but it's more like 16.
Yeah.
But don't forget as well, these are also water-based, which means not 8, not 16, lots more. We're not quite sure quite how
Johnny's
many.
still doing the calculation on that. From the noises he's been making, I doubt we'll have it by the end of the show.
Maybe
it's a
like
lot.
end of launch party, maybe?
Say again?
End of launch party.
Oh, I don't
maybe?
even know if it will be by then, to be honest with you. Yeah. He says I can give you a number, it might not be right. He's just said, he's done the calculations, and basically the number is hell of a lot. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. We'll go with that. Anyway, we've got our 2 nibs on there. We've got our really fine nib, so perfect if you are doing your handwriting. Perhaps you're writing your gift tags, your Christmas cards. If you want a really, really special inside of your Christmas card to match the outside being so special, write them with your pens like these and they'll be absolutely fantastic. Other end is a lovely brush end. So you get a really smooth lay down of colour, perfect for your brush lettering, perfect for your handwriting, perfect for colouring as well. Don't forget, they're not just about writing with your metallic markers. Of course, blend them out with water, once again with them being water-based, and you can get a range of different effects. But you've got such a fantastic range of colours, and you've got your gold, silver and your bronze, which are absolute must-have essentials. But don't forget, use them onto black and onto white card, and you're going to get different effects, which is brilliant.
Metallic markers, you've got gold plate, silver ingot, antique bronze, pewter, red garnet, jade green, blue topaz, and your amethyst. Lots of lovely comments still coming through. Crafty Ages saying the metallic paint markers, which you can get individually, are just delicious. There's a word. Coletta says, popping in, I've been listening whilst doing chores. Ooh. I love Lily.
Oh, thank you. Yep. I don't love chores though.
What?
I don't love chores.
I hate chores.
No.
That's why they're called chores, though.
Yeah,
isn't it?
they are a
Chores.
chore.
The only
Clues in the name.
The only chore I don't mind doing, and this is a funny one because most people hate it, I don't mind doing the ironing.
Oh no.
No?
No.
I find it quite... Johnny does the ironing. It's the only thing in my household that I'm allowed to do, which I do to a better standard than Mrs. M, and she admits it.
Well, expect next time you're in, I'll be bringing my iron in for you then.
Oh, wish I had mentioned it.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Yes. And Cara on YouTube says, these are great quality and great value and actually better than more expensive ones. The Spectrum Noir
Absolutely.
range.
Yeah, you can't believe the price for the quality you get. They are absolutely second to none.
We've got another... Oh, I've lost track now. I think 18. Yeah, we've got 18 because we've got to look at the classics and we've also got to look at the glitter... There was other glitter pens. Classics, art liners and sparkle pens. So that's 16, Ben. Good maths. What do you want to look at next? Classics?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Classic. So for me, this is where my journey with Spectrum Noir actually started. So they always have sort of a dear place in my crafty heart, if you like.
Yeah.
And these are dual-ended. So we've got our really fine bullet nib on one end, so perfect for all your fine detail. That's probably what you're going to go to most on a day-to-day basis when you are colouring your stamped images. It's absolutely brilliant for getting all your detail. And then on your other end, you have your chisel nib. Now, just to show you a little bit of something with this, we showed you earlier with the paint markers how we can edge the edges of our stamped images, of our cardstock. We can do a similar thing with our chisel nib.
Oh, okay.
So I've just taken this part coloured image even, that Michelle started earlier in Wake Up Call. And I'm just taking this pen, and all you need to do is just edge the edges of the cardstock, just exactly the same as we did with our metallic paint marker. And again, that gives us a faux matten layer onto there. So really, really easy to do.
That's a really good tip.
So quick, so easy, but you just that finishing touch. So you can be using the same pen that you've used to colour your image with, and it's going to tone in perfectly, everything's going to match. So you're almost making your own sort of faux matte layers which match everything perfectly, which is what you want really. You want everything to be beautifully coordinated when you're crafting. But don't forget as well, with these being alcohol-based markers, it's not just about colouring your stamped images. They'll go onto a range of different surfaces, both porous and non-porous. So we're talking cardstock, of course. We're also talking acetate. They can go onto glass. They can even go onto fabric. They can colour in your ribbons, so you can colour coordinate your ribbons and your bows to your stamped images on your project. You can colour your gems. You can colour your pearls. You can do an absolute lot with these. They are so, so versatile. So yeah, great for your blending, great for your shading, great for your stamped images, but there's a lot more besides that you can do with these, and such a lovely range of colours as well.
And your classics you can refill as well, can't you?
Absolutely. So we do alcohol ink refills for your classics. So you can do a lot of different techniques with the alcohol inks on their own, but you can also refill these, so absolutely perfect for the environment. But brilliant, just means your pens are going to last a really, really long time.
We've still got more to look at. Mary Patch has said on YouTube, I love ironing too, Ben. Something very satisfying watching those wrinkles disappear. It is super satisfying. Right, let's move on back to the box. We've got, well, what would you do next? Art liners or sparkle?
I'll let you choose.
Ooh. I'm in charge. Let's, I'm feeling like a bit of sparkle. Yeah, Johnny said sparkle. Sparkle.
Sparkle it is.
Yeah.
So within the box we've got 3, and I think personally for me they're probably the most useful 3 colours within the sparkle range. But I reckon once you've started using your sparkle pens, you're going to want to collect all the colours. It's one of those, you know what we like as crafters, we've got to collect everything of everything. But we have got our clear overlay. So with all our sparkle pens, we've got that beautiful brush nib, which makes laying down colour really, really easy and really quite quick as well. So we can be adding this over the top of any colour to give it a coat of glitter basically. So for example, if we take an image that's been coloured in using our classic markers, our alcohol-based markers, what we can do is we can just add our colour over the top, and because that's alcohol-based ink and our clear overlay sparkle pen is water based. It's not going to disturb the colour underneath. All it's going to do is add a little bit of sparkle onto there and make it look even more special. So we can be adding our clear overlay to anything and making it glittery, which is brilliant. And don't forget, like we showed earlier, instead of using a water brush, you can be using this. So at any point when you be blending anything out with water and a paintbrush or a water brush, you can use your clear overlay instead, and it's just going to make it glittery. So we can be doing that with our aqua pens, with our glitter markers, with our metallic markers. We can be blending it out with our crystal clear overlay, and you'll get that glittery effect. But aside from our crystal clear, we've also got our gold and our silver. So really pretty much essentials in terms of your sparkle pens. So it's a brilliant, try me little selection of those within the box.
These are not just any silver or any gold, it's sterling silver.
Oh, yes.
And spun gold. And we've still got more in the top layer of the box as well. Just to mention, the last set that you're going to get, 3 of your art liners. And what might I be using these for?
So these are brilliant if you are sort of artistic and you like your drawing. You can be using these to actually draw with. So perhaps you're into like manga and anime, you can be drawing your outlines with your art liner pens, so they're perfect for that. If you like doing all your doodling, sort of your zen doodly, zen tangly sort of bits and bobs, these are going to be absolutely perfect for that. Perfect for adding faux stitching to any of your projects.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little bit obsessed with that. I have to say, once I start, I can't stop. So if you take any of your stamped images, any of your panels, you can very, very easily add some faux stitching onto there, just like so, and it very quickly comes together. You've got 2 different widths of the sort of fine liners, so you get a 0.5 which is slightly thicker than your 0.3, so different uses depending on what sort of effect you're wanting to achieve, which is perfect if you are doing your drawing. And then we've got our brush art liner, which is brilliant for your brush lettering. So it's going to be perfect if you are doing all your handwriting, your calligraphy, your brush lettering. It's a beautiful quality brush nib onto there. It's going to give you absolutely fantastic effects. And all 3 of those are black. So that's our art liners.
And as Johnny's just sort of said in my ear as well, we have literally crammed into every single square inch of the box. So many pens, so many markers, there's 42 in total. But like a great box of chocolates, we are not done, because we may well have finished the top layer, but if you lift up and take out the top tray underneath, we've got even more for you. 14 colouring pages, plus, crucially, if you are quite new to our range, a little instruction brochure, if you like, a little pamphlet to give you lots of information about all of the different pens that you've got in there. A little bit of a heads up with these as well. But crucially, again, the colouring pages that we've got are relevant to all of the different types of ink that we've got within the collection.
Absolutely. So should we lift up the top layer?
Go on, do it, do it.
Do it. Right, massive, once again, lily-sized box, as we know. And I must admit now, by this point, some of the colouring pages are missing. We have had a little bit of fun colouring.
Yeah, we'll let you off though, we'll let you off.
Okay, thank you. It means a lot. An awful lot.
Thank you.
So we've got sort of 3 main types of colouring pages within the box. So we've not just given you a generic cardstock, one size fits all. It's not quite right for alcohol pens, it's not quite right for water-based mediums. It's just sort of in the middle, and you're not going to get the best effects. What we've given you is we've given you black printed, so that's going to be brilliant for resist effects. So great for your metallic markers, great for your glitter markers, your sparkle pens. It's going to be absolutely fabulous. You're printed onto black, just something a little bit different. And then you've got some which are onto your super smooth. So these are going to be absolutely fantastic when you are using your classic pens. You get a range of different designs, perfect for lots of different occasions. But then we come to these. So not only are these printed, they're also printed and foiled, which is absolutely fantastic. How special and luxurious is that, to have all of this included in the box? We've not just given you ordinary printed, we've foiled it as well. And we've also got some within there which are glittered as well. So if we see this one, I've not added the clear overlay to this at all. It's already been glittered. And when you use your classiques, you can actually colour over the top of of the glitter and you'll get a coloured glitter effect, which is super, super cool. And then finally, you feel like you need to lie down after going through all of this. There's so much in it.
But you will do it between shows. There's a bed in the green room.
I'll have a little nap. It'll be fine, and I'll be back ready for launch party. So these are onto our watercolour cardstock. So they're going to be perfect for all of our water-based mediums. At any point when we're wanting to be adding water to any of these designs, it's going to take the water really, really well, and it's not going to buckle and warp, and it's not all going to come up and pill and be all not very nice. It's going to be absolutely brilliant for your water-based mediums. And you can see, yes, we've got lovely printed designs, but we've also got foils. And it looks almost like it's been heat embossed. So when you add your water-based mediums onto here, you will get that resist effect. You can hardly even see, but there's some feathers. I think we just caught that.
Oh, yeah, you can see it now.
There's some feathers in the background. So it's going to give you a fantastic resist effect. Just add your water-based mediums, and then you can just dry it over the top. And the water-based medium won't stick to that printed design, so you'll get that resist effect. And of course, like Ben did mention earlier, the sort of cherry on top of the cake, the crowning glory, is our little pamphlet that we've got in there that explains all the different pens that you've got within the box, just as a little sort of quick reference guide. Perhaps you've not tried some of these before. They're going to be absolutely perfect just to remind you of exactly what you've got, which is just fantastic. So it's just a quick reference guide.
I mean, what is not to love about this collection? Loads of you have jumped in and grabbed it. Plenty of you have got it in your carts as well. We've literally got 10 minutes remaining on the show, so we will give you a chance, of course, after the show to get those items checked out. You can continue to buy, but do not miss out. Really busy for this. And if you're not planning on buying now, but planning on grabbing this later on, maybe you are doing some chores, doing the ironing, for example, and you think, oh, I'll grab this later. Make sure you do grab it today, because if you come back tomorrow, you'll be able to get it, but you won't get the triple points on it, which will be a bit of a disappointment. It's a nice little added extra for you today. $71.99, yeah, or $103.96. You're thinking, even if you're platinum, that's another, 210 points here in the UK, about 309 points in the US. That's going to take you up another level, so please make sure you grab it. Just wanted to also talk about the creator cards, which have been proving really, really popular. Lots of you going in for the collection. A few of you jumping in and buying lots of the other pens that we've got on the show, and then grabbing these because it's the best price we've done them for. Stamp and dies, as far as the creator card is concerned, £25.59 or $27.99. You're saving over £75, over $84, and what is a beautiful collection, because not only do you have these stamps to be able to create these gorgeous scenes, but also the dies in there as well. So whether you're going for the beautiful florals, whether you like the look of the wild and free, the into the woods with those stags, whether butterflies are your thing. I mean, we love butterflies in craft, don't we? Whether you love your more sort of bucolic sort of rural scenic villages, we've got those in there as well, including that charming church. And then you've even got that beautiful winding path on your natural beauty, which is the Into the Woods. A great day to pick up that collection with a huge saving. I think we're just going to finish off just having a little look at this collection with Lily, who is she's getting ahead. She's colouring already over there. She's so excited. Which one are you working with?
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
No, that's all right.
Need to get started. So I'm using the gorgeous floral frame. So this is from the collection that Ben has just shown you, the creator card. And all I've done is I've just stamped out the image and my sentiments as well. Now, it's one of those, when you get stamps and dies, there's lots of different opinions. Do you stamp first? Do you die cut first? What I tend to do is it depends on what sort of stamp and die I'm using. If it's a solid die, I will die cut first and then stamp. Yeah. But in this case, I'm not even going to use the die. So you don't have to always use the die if you don't want to. This is going to be a gorgeous panel on its own without die cutting. So you've got those options there. Yes, of course, you can mix and match and you can die cut for absolutely fantastic results, but it's totally up to you. Now, these stamps work absolutely brilliantly with the pens that we've got within our lovely collection today. What I've done is I've stamped this onto watercolour cardstock. So we do have that on the show, and I've also used the waterproof ink pad that we've also got on the show, and just the black colour for this particular image. Now I've started colouring in one of the flowers. So I've taken the crimson aqua pen and I'm taking the brush nib, and all we're going to do is we're going to lay down a little bit of colour onto the very centre of our flower and just flicking out. So can you see within the stamp we've got the lines there in the centre of the petals, and that's just giving us a clue as to where we're going to shade. So where there's more lines, that suggests to us that that's where it's sort of more pinched in on the flower. So we're going to add more shading on there. It's going to be darker. That's where our shadow is. So we're adding our colour onto there, and then we're taking our clear overlay sparkle pen and we're just going to blend out that colour. So I'm working in circular motions, just getting that colour ready to blend out, and then I'm just pushing that towards the outside of the petal. Now I did talk about earlier how we had a brush nib onto these sparkle pens, and I did say that I tend to use the glitter markers if I want more fine detail. But having said that, we can use our sparkle pens to achieve really fine detail as well. Because that brush nib, it is flexible, it does give us enough flexibility, but it tapers down to a really fine point at the end. So that allows us to get into all that fine detail like so. But talking of fine detail, if we want to get into really, really fine detail, like we've got in this stamp, because it's absolutely gorgeously intricate, I'm taking the verdant green. Might not have said that right, I'm not too sure.
Oh, that's how I always say it.
Verdant?
Verdant, yeah.
Verdant? Yeah.
I hope it is. If it isn't, I've been saying it wrong all these years.
I apologise if we've offended anyone.
Verdant.
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 I'm taking the verdant green and I'm taking the really, really fine end. So can you see some of these vines are really, really super fine. So this end is going to be absolutely perfect for getting into those super, super fine little branches onto there.
Just a question which just come in. I don't know whether this is a general question or to do with the papers that you get within the collection, but Chai Vixen just saying, how do you tell which paper is used for each type of pen or markers? I guess within the set it says, doesn't it?
It's a really good question actually. So they're not actually labelled on the back. Okay. But they're really, really easy to find. So obviously we've got our black ones, which is sort of self-explanatory. But if we look at the back, you can see the watercolour cardstock is slightly more textured. It feels a little bit thicker and you can feel that it's got a slight texture to it. It's not super smooth. Whereas for our alcohol-based colouring, it's really, really smooth, and that's what you want. You want your cardstock when you're colouring with alcohol pens to be really, really super smooth. So if it feels really, really smooth, then use it for your alcohol pens. And if it feels a little bit thicker and not really super smooth, it's a little bit more textured, that's going to be perfect for your watercolour, your water-based mediums. But in general, when you are buying your cardstock to be colouring with, watercolour cardstock for any of your water-based mediums and a super smooth light your Nina cardstock is going to be brilliant for your classics, anything alcohol-based. It just allows the ink to blend really nicely. And
just as a by the by on that as well, the Get It Got It Good this week is all about the different cardstock, isn't it? And all about the, lots of different adhesives in there as well, so do check that out. Last couple of minutes then.
Ooh. Yeah, that Get It Got It deal is absolutely brilliant. You've got your craft card, you've got your matte black card, you've got stamping card, Nina watercolour, then you've got 3 different adhesives. Yeah. So it's brilliant if you're new, if you're wanting to start off crafting, or if you just need to stock up, it's absolutely brilliant. So definitely worth having a look if you're looking about cardstocks.
It's a good little companion to go into your basket with your creative collection today, so jump in and grab that.
Triple points.
Oh, triple points. Only for the day though.
I know, you best be quick.
You better be.
Better be quick. It ends 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Does, at 3 o'clock Eastern time, and I bet you know what's coming up tomorrow, don't you?
Shh. Yes.
Okay.
I know all the days.
Shows.
I've got to say, there's some good stuff coming.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good.
Always good stuff. Yeah. So, using our really, really fine nib of our aqua pens just enables us to get into all that really, really fine detail of that stamp. I must say, I can't believe you can achieve such fine detail, but it's really, really easy to do. Just take your time and you can get gorgeous, gorgeous effects.
Wow, what a show. And I must say a massive thank you to Lily, who has stepped in today to join us on Crafters TV. It's like you've always been here. I mean, I know you've always been here, but you've been over there.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much for having me. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you everyone at home. I hope you enjoy your box as much as I love it, which is a lot.
Yeah. Are you up for a bit of a party? Party,
yeah, definitely. We've got some really, really exciting stuff, so hope you can join us.
We will be here in just over 2 hours' time. Yes, the brand new craft kit is here. Box number 43, which is your silhouette, stencils and stamps craft kit. Really busy for this kit as well. I think a lot of people who've already got the previous 42 will be grabbing it. A lot of people who love their stenciling and stamping will be grabbing it. Great Christmas gift idea, this as well. And the brilliant thing about this today, not only is it at that great price, which you love, $24.99 or $19.99 if you're platinum, but you will get triple points if you grab this craft kit today, and today only as part of our 12 days of Craftmas. What a brilliant show. Thank you so much for all of the comments coming through. If you are thinking about getting the creative collection, you haven't yet got it in your basket, you can, of course, check out after the show. I expect lots of you will do. Lots of you, I think, have been engrossed by all of Lily's demos and explanations of this amazing collection. But if you're looking for the most awesome Christmas gift, if you yourself are looking to getting into colouring, or you know what, you're just thinking to yourself, I've got a little bit of everything there, I'm going to give Spectrum Noir a go, this is a great collection to go for. We'll come back in a couple of hours for a brilliant launch party. Until then, check out your baskets and we'll see you in a couple of hours. Bye for now.